Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is the second video in a series of videos where I am guiding you through the process of learning how to sew. In the first video, we looked at the tools and equipment that you will likely come across when you're learning how to sew. In this video, I am going to run you through the sewing machine and the different parts and functions of the sewing machine and what they do. So let's jump right into that, and I'm going to turn you around so you can actually see my sewing machine. Okay, so this here is my wonderful Bernina sewing machine. I have the model B330 and it's a gorgeous machine. In the classroom, you will see that there is a variety of machines around the room. You'll see that there's some that look like this. They are like a nice white colour with the silver on it. And then you'll see that there's an older version, and I'll superimpose what they look like up in my video somewhere so you can see. For the purpose of today's video, I'm just going to show you how to use this machine. Okay, so we are going to start from the top of the machine looking at the important parts that you'll need to know. You have a worksheet in your booklet. I will superimpose what that looks like here, and we are going to fill in the blank spaces as we identify the different parts of the sewing machine. This here is called a spool holder. There is two of them on this machine. This one here lowers and raises just for ease of use. Most of the time it is easier to use this one because the spool is sitting straight up on top of it. This one here can be used for when you are needing to rethread a bobbin while you are sewing at the same time as well. Okay, so this is a spool holder. Now on the top of the machine, you'll see that there's quite a lot happening. Okay, there's this interesting contraption here. This winds your bobbin. Now we don't have a number on our little worksheet that identifies what that is, but that is our bobbin winder. On this part of the machine over here, we have a few different key things as well. This little knob is used to help wind your bobbin. We don't go around that when we are threading our sewing machine. This little guide here is called a thread guide. You can see that this is a little hook. So this thread guide is a little hook. So when we are threading our sewing machine, we are threading through a series of thread guides, that being the first one. Behind this safety guide here on our sewing machine is what we call a take-up lever. This here is called your backstitch button. It is located at the top of your needle, and to activate it, you can simply press and hold or double click, and it will come up with a backstitch button up on your little LED screen. On some machines there is a lever, and it is identified by number 6 on your worksheet. Okay, so number 6 is the backstitch lever. On this machine here, it's a backstitch button. This area has a few key components. This is your needle. You can see it here. This is your needle. This is your presser foot. Underneath the presser foot are little things called feed dogs. You can see how they move. And just below that, behind this little door, as if you open it, there is a space in here to thread your bobbin case into. This is your bobbin case, and it is usually inserted into your machine, and here some thread. So at the back of your machine you have a lever, and that raises and lowers your presser foot. Behind here is a thread cutter. When we are sewing and we've finished our line of sewing and we want to quickly cut our threads, we can put some thread over here, and there's a little blade behind there that can cut it. At this side of the sewing machine we have our hand wheel, and when we use our hand wheel, it's really important that we always turn the hand wheel towards us. So our hand is turning this way. So if we're looking at the hand wheel, it's going in an anti-clockwise direction towards us rather than away from us. Okay, so starting from the top again, we have our spool holder. We have our thread guide at the back here. There's a little hook. Behind this safety plate, we have the take up lever. In this position here, we have our needle. Then we have our presser foot. We have our feed dogs. To the right of the machine, we have our hand wheel, which moves in an anti-clockwise direction. Another important key part is at the back of your machine here, you have the point where you insert the power cable into, and then you have the on-off switch. This button here, when pushed in, deactivates the feed dogs. So it means that they are not in a raised position. It lowers them down for free sewing. So you physically at that point have to push and pull your fabric through the machine to sew. Okay, the machine isn't going to feed that fabric through the machine for you. You can see that there's also a hole here. That is where your foot pedal is plugged into. Your foot pedal looks like this. And this is the plug that goes into it. It goes into the hole, and you unwind it at the back. So that brings me to the end of this video today. This video was, like I said at the start, just a basic understanding of what the different parts of the sewing machine are. We will go through in more detail the other parts of the sewing machine and the other functions of the sewing machine, such as stitch length and stitch width and needle position, and when you need to use those dials. So we will do that as we move through the series of videos, as each of the videos focuses on a different part and allows you to experiment with the different functions of the sewing machine. I hope that you've enjoyed this video today and that you've learned something new, and I'll catch you next time. Slay.